Hey guys, it's Jen from My Create Crafts. Today I'm going to show you how to turn these tiles into coasters using Armor Etch. I made a few of these coasters already and they were a lot of fun to make, so I'm going to show you a quick tutorial on how to make them. So starting in Design Space, I'm going to go to Upload because I already have the images that I want to use in my Design Space. I just went to Google and I typed in reindeer SVG and snowflake SVG, snowman SVG, and then a cardinal. And this is what it came up with. I just saved it to my desktop and added it to my Design Space. So I'm going to add all of these and insert image. And it's going to bring them up and then I'm going to want to resize them. And that's pretty much the only thing I want to do, because I'm not going to add any color to these. I'm just going to use them as it is. So with it already selected, I'm going to go up to the little lock, unlock it, and change it to about 3 by 3 and see what it looks like. It looks pretty good. So I'm going to do the same thing with the next one. Change it to 3 by 3. And the reason I'm doing 3 by 3 is my tile is 4 by 4 and I do not want it as big as my tile. So I'm going to change each one of them, just selecting it, going up to the little lock, and then change it into the size that I want. Then just doing the last one, changing it to 3 by 3. And it's as simple as that. That's pretty much all you have to do. And since they're all one piece, I don't have to attach anything. And since I'm not using any color for it, I do not need to change anything. So I'm just going to go to Make It. And I'm going to move them over a little bit because I want extra vinyl behind it so that when I cut it out and I put it on my... Actually, I'm going to show you an easier way. I'm going to go back once and show you something that I've learned. So I want it to be center with my tile, and I'm going to cut out a box about 4 by 4. So that will tell me where the center is for my image. So when I put it on my tile, I know exactly where the center is. So I'm going to go to Shapes on the left-hand side and click on Square. And I'm going to move it, and I'm going to push duplicate 3 more times. So then I have 4 of them right away. I'm just going to put them over each image. And then I'm going to, while this box is selected, I'm going to go to Arrange and Send to Back. Then I can see my design behind it. So get it as close as you can to the center. One thing I didn't do was change the size. I was wondering why it was looking the same. So I'm going to go ahead and change the size of this really quick. I should have done it before I duplicated it, but that's okay. So I'm going to go to Unlock, and I'm going to do 4 by 4. Sometimes it's good to make mistakes, then you can see how to do it better next time. So again, I'm going to click on the box, unlock it, and change it to 4 by 4. And then we'll do it with this one. And then one more. Oops. 4 by 4. So now I can go back and put it in the center as best as I can. I'll move my mouse away from it so it's not selected. I'll select both images. I will go to Align. Oops, sorry. I will go, Align, and I will center it. So I'll put it directly in the center of it. While I have it selected already, I'm going to go to Slice. And I'll show you the reason for that in a minute. So I'm going to take this one, I'm going to delete that one, and then I'm going to delete the second one. So here's my one piece. This is how it will cut out. It will cut out the square, so it's 4 by 4, and then it will cut out the image as a 3 by 3. So when I place this on my slate tile, I will know exactly where the middle is. I'll just have to lay it on just as it looks. So do the same thing and click on it and click Arrange and then Send to Back, and it'll bring your other image forward. So again, try to make it in center as best as possible, and then click out, select both images, Align, Center, and while they're both selected, again, go down to Slice, and then you can delete these 2 images. And then the next one, Make sure it's, oops, you just want to select on your box, arrange, send to back. Again, click on the image that you're going to do and try to do a little bit in the center. I'll show you why I don't do it just in the center, because if I go like this and select it and then try to center it, it will only center it this way. So you can see you're missing some down here. So that's why I say try to center it as best as you can and then select it and center it. So there, it makes it a little bit better. And then, whoops, before I go on the next one, while I have it selected, go again to slice again. Delete the pieces you will not be using. And then go to the last one. Again, arrange, send to back. Click on your image, put it as well centered as you can. Click out, select both. Go to align, center. And while both of them are selected, you push slice. And then delete the ones that you do not want. And that is it. That's how it's going to cut out. So I'm going to cut this out. And mine, I'm just going to move them over a little bit more so each piece I can have a little bit of extra vinyl with. So I just move it a little bit. And then I'll click continue. Forgot to turn on my machine. And then I'll select how I want the vinyl to be cut. So you can hear my machine turning on. I forgot to turn it on. So it says set material. These are my favorites that I use all the time. I just use a stencil vinyl for the vinyl that I have, and it works perfectly and it cuts it out. So I'm going to cut this out. I'll weed it and then I'll show you the next step. So here's all my stuff. I already weeded and I did reverse weeding, which means I took the image out instead of leaving it on and pulling everything else out. So I reverse weeded them. And I already did this one. And I pushed it down really hard to kind of show you what it would look like, but it's rather simple. And that's, see how the box came in handy? Kind of, you can tell and judge where the center of it is now instead of trying to guess. So what you want to do is just take your transfer tape, which I had some extras laying around, and cut it to the size that you need. And then just pull it back. Done. Take your scraper, just scrape it, and then take the whole vinyl piece off. And then, like I said, here's where it comes in handy with the square, is now you can make sure it's centered, which is why it always helps rather than guessing on where to put it. So there, it looks about centered there. You can see that. And I just take my scraper and I scrape it really well. Trying to get each little piece and little corner on. And then just peel back your transfer tape, leaving your vinyl behind. There we go. It's as easy as that. Just make sure that you press all this on, because wherever you put the armor etch is where you're gonna see it. So I'm just gonna do it in the middle here. So I'm just gonna reuse my transfer tape for my next one. Scrape it off. Just pull it back. Nice and simple. Use my slate tile. And I purchased these slate tiles off of Amazon. I will leave the link below to them. They're really nice. I like them. They're nice and thick. I like how it has the edges kind of, if you can see it, kind of broken off like that. But they're pretty neat. And I think they weren't too expensive. I don't remember offhand how much it was, but again, you can kind of judge where the center is with the sides of it. That's why I like cutting the box out with it. So then again, just take your scraper and scrape it on really well. And then peel back the transfer tape. And then and just push down really hard, making sure you don't have any bubbles or any spots where it's not tightly down. So I'll quickly do the last one, same process, and then I'll show you what I do next. Okay, so if you can see this, the transfer tape has kind of got the slate type pieces behind it, so I'm just going to throw that out. Normally I like to keep it, but this time I'm going to throw it out. But this last one I'm going to make sure that I push it down really tight. And then I'll just take my armor etch that I purchased, running kind of low, it's on my plate. I'm really running out. Actually, I'm not going to waste my plate. I'm just going to put it directly on the tile since I'm almost out. So where you want to put okay, so if you can see this, the transfer tape has kind of got the slate type pieces behind it, so I'm just going to throw that out. Normally I like to keep it, but this time I'm going to throw it out. But this last one I'm going to make sure that I push it down really tight. And then I'll just take my armor etch that I purchased, running kind of low, it's on my plate. I'm really running out. Actually, I'm not going to waste my plate. I'm just going to put it directly on the tile since I'm almost out. So where you want to put, wherever you want your edge to work is where you put it. So you gotta be careful of the corners, and you have to make sure you put it on kind of thick so it'll do its job. And I know I'm not going to waste this because after I'm done with it, after the 10 minutes is up, I leave it on for 10 minutes. I think it says leave it on for 5 minutes, but I leave it on for 10 minutes and then I'll take it off with my sponge. So I'm not wasting as much, but there you go. Just want to get everywhere you want it to go. Sorry if you can see that. And then just do the same thing with the next ones. I'm gonna have to buy some more of this pretty soon. But this bottle went a long way. I think I bought it at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, Hobby Lobby for almost $23. But I had a 40% off coupon, so it really went a long way. So these would be amazing gifts if you wanted to give them for Christmas time for gifts, which is what I'm going to be doing. There. And just do it for, I'll speed this part up, do it for the next two. And then you let it sit for 15 minutes. And then when the 15 minutes is up, I'll take the excess off, put it back in my bottle, and then I'll take it to my sink and wash the rest off. Okay, I let it sit for 15 minutes and here it is. I cleaned off the excess with my sponge and I put it back into my bottle. And I'm just going to carefully wash off all the armor etch that's on here. It is recommended that you wear gloves, but I just didn't. So then carefully peel back your vinyl after you made sure you washed it all off. You can kind of see the design coming through. Once it dries, you'll see it much better, but here's the overall finished product. And here's the next one, and just do the same process over, just making sure you wash it all off. You can use soap if you want to add to it, but I just rinse it off with my fingers, and then make sure you throw out the vinyl after you're done. So here they are. Here's the finished product. I really like how they turned out. I wrapped them all together with some twine and I thought it looked really neat. They are ready to go as gifts, so I hope you like this tutorial. I hope you try it on your own. I would love to see what you create, but it's a quick and easy gift for anybody.